Banks have always controlled silver, the price, the supply narrative, the confidence, but something has changed. Silver is no longer behaving the way banks expect. Prices say one thing, physical reality says another. When banks lose control of a market, it doesn't fail loudly, it fails quietly, and then all at once. Stay with me, because what happens next affects far more than just silver. Main script. For decades, banks have dominated the silver market, not by owning silver, but by controlling paper, futures contracts, derivatives, synthetic supply. This system allows banks to influence price without touching real metal. As long as confidence holds, it works. Silver becomes numbers on a screen. But silver is not just a financial asset. It is a physical input into the real economy. Electronics depend on it. Energy systems depend on it. Military and medical systems depend on it. And physical silver cannot be printed. Here's the critical imbalance. Paper silver can be created endlessly. Physical silver cannot. Banks rely on most participants never asking for delivery. They rely on cash settlement. They rely on trust. That trust is weakening. Industrial demand keeps absorbing real silver quietly, year after year. Once used, much of it is never recovered. Meanwhile, above-ground stockpiles are thinner than markets admit. Vaults look full on paper. But movement tells a different story. Silver is leaving vaults faster than it returns. Not because of panic, but because it's needed. This is where banks begin losing control. They don't lose control through price spikes. They lose it through inventory stress. When physical silver becomes harder to source, banks face a dilemma: raise prices and reveal scarcity, or suppress prices and drain supply faster. Both options weaken control. The more silver is suppressed, the more physical demand increases. The more demand increases, the less metal remains to back paper claims. This creates a silent pressure system. Eventually, banks stop asking, "Can we control price?" and start asking, "Can we meet delivery?" This is the danger zone. When a market reaches this stage, rules quietly change. Contracts get rolled instead of settled. Cash replaces metal. Delays become normal. These are not technical issues. They are signals. Signals that physical reality is overpowering financial structure. When banks lose control of silver, price discovery shifts, not overnight, not explosively, but steadily. Silver stops responding to sentiment, stops responding to headlines, stops responding to paper volume. It begins responding only to availability, and availability is tightening. This is what happens next. Volatility increases. Premiums detach from spot price. Physical buyers stop waiting for pullbacks. Confidence in paper weakens further. Banks don't announce this loss of control. They absorb it quietly until they can't. At that point, silver doesn't need hype. It doesn't need promotion. Scarcity speaks for itself. Historically, when banks lose control of a hard asset, the asset doesn't explode immediately. It reprices, slowly, relentlessly, based on reality. Silver is not rebelling against banks. It is exposing leverage. And leverage always breaks eventually. This is why silver matters beyond investment. It acts as a stress indicator. When silver stops obeying paper rules,